What is up, my friends and family? I'm charmx, and today I'm going to be reacting to 5 incredibly strange and mysterious events that need some serious explaining by top 5s. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, I have a love and hate relationship with top 5s. I mean, I don't hate them. I love them, but at the same time, their videos normally end up freaking me out, and I always get paranoid, and that is what I hate, so I'm hoping this isn't like that. I mean, it doesn't sound like it has to do with paranormal stuff or anything like that, at least from what I can tell. So hopefully this video won't make me paranoid or anything like that. But with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. The original link's in the description. Make sure you go subscribe to Top 5s if you haven't already, as well as Top 5s. They have a magazine, so if you want to get that, that link will be in the description. And with that being said, let's begin.
We humans are drawn to all things bizarre and unsolved. I can't explain why, it's just the way we are and the way our brains work. And nothing gets our minds going more than unsolved mysteries covering a variety of topics.
Or conspiracies.
So, from a plane that crashed into Lake Superior in Canada, with not a single trace of any pilot or passengers being on board,
they bailed,
to a German U-boat that was mysteriously sunk by a supposed unknown creature during World War I. Here are 5 incredibly strange mysteries, some of which are actually pretty creepy. As always, sit back and enjoy.
Oh, so it is going to be really creepy,
Plane
huh?
with no pilot. On March the 15th, 2017, a young man from the University of Michigan Flyers Club rented a single-engine Cessna 172 aircraft from Ann Arbor near Detroit. It set off around 7 p.m. and was heading to Harbor Springs, but just under 4 hours after takeoff, the aircraft crashed into snow near the south shore of Lake Superior in Canada.
Wait, so it crashed, so it landed on the ocean, but like, not the ocean, but it landed on a lake, but the lake was frozen, I guess?
The crash site revealed,
If
the
that's
Cessna had broken its wings as it crashed through trees and careered into the deep snow. However, the cockpit was pretty much intact, and the passenger side door had been opened from the inside. The strange thing was, there was no sign of the pilot. In fact, there was no evidence a pilot or any passengers had been on board at the time of the crash.
What it sounds like is that the pilot knew something was going to happen, like he knew there was a problem, so he bailed out. I mean, did he have a parachute with him? If he didn't have a parachute with him, I mean, this gets a lot more mysterious, but if he had a parachute with him, and if he was, you know, over, I think it's like 1,000 feet, you can use a parachute or something like that. If he bailed, he could have just pulled his parachute and survived because he knew something was going to go wrong.
No bodies, no footprints, nothing. There wasn't even any flight recording equipment, and it's believed the plane had been on autopilot and had run out of fuel before crashing.
Oh.
This was a 33-year-old aircraft, and for the autopilot to be launched, someone had to have been in the cockpit at takeoff. It would also have not been possible for them to parachute out, as the plane had no roof hatch and was not designed to carry parachutes.
Oh. Well, you can jump out the side of it. As you saw there were doors on the side. So, as long as, you know, you jump out, you're going to go backwards. You might hit the back tail, but, you know, you're not going to hit the engine. So, if you brought a parachute with you, you could still technically jump out.
The only way in or out of the aircraft was through the main cabin doors. So where were they, and how did they escape the crash? Well, we don't know. It later emerged that the police were looking for a postgraduate student from the University of Michigan who had gone missing on the day of the crash. I won't name him out of respect for his family, as it's a very new event, but it's thought he may have been the pilot of the plane that went down. If so, then where he is now and how he survived is unknown.
He was wanted? He was wanted by the police? Is that what happened? And he got a plane, he flew it, and I guess he could have bailed out. The plane crashed, everyone thinks he died, but he got away from the police, and the police aren't looking for him anymore because they thought he died. That could be possible. That could be possible. That's a crazy theory right there.
Maybe it was an elaborate way to disappear.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe there is a more sinister explanation to all this. Or maybe the missing person has no connection to this at all.
That's also
What's your
possible.
thoughts?
Well, if the police were after him, and he disappeared on the exact same day of the crash, that is way too suspicious to be a coincidence, in my opinion. So I think he probably did this as an elaborate way to escape, because everyone thinks he somehow died or something like that. But no, he just escaped, he parachuted out, and he managed to live or whatever.
Area 51 planes. This is another plane mystery, but one involving a fleet of passenger planes that are housed at Las Vegas's McCarran International Airport that are neatly lined up in their allocated slots.
Okay,
These unmarked red and white Boeing 737s look perfectly normal. However, these aircraft are not for public use, and they only fly to one destination, Area 51. The secretive military base in the Nevada desert, and the place many people believe crashed UFOs are housed, and holds the secret to alien life and technology. Don't worry, a much overdue documentary will be coming soon. The fleet is run by the United States Air Force, and anyone who does board them is sworn to secrecy and cannot reveal where they are going or their line of work.
They can't reveal where they're going, yet we all know they're going to Area 51? What? That doesn't make sense.
It's thought that when the planes enter the highly restricted airspace near the base, they change their call name from Janet Airlines to a variety of other names, including Janet 210 or Bones 58. As with everything to do with the elusive Area 51, very little is known about the secret airline, such as who it flies to the base or who pilots them.
I guess like workers and that kind of stuff, right? I mean, that'd be a great way to get people to the base without having that many security problems, because basically you don't let anyone in the base unless they're coming from one of these kind of planes. That's a pretty good way to keep out trespassers and people you don't want in there.
Hillary Clinton, during her presidential campaign, promised to open up classified UFO files to do with Area 51 if she made it to the White House. So there is without a doubt something going on there to do with alien life and unidentified flying objects. Otherwise, why would she and many other high-profile figures have said such things?
To get voted in.
Russian explosion. On the morning of the 30th of June 1908, a fireball descended from the sky and devastated 2,000 square meters of forest in the stony Tunguska River in Russia, with an explosion.
What year was this? 1908? Or like 2008? I totally missed that.
Explosive equivalent of 1,000 Hiroshima atomic bombs. Miraculously, it did not cause any known human casualties, and the ball was initially thought to be a meteor that had disintegrated around 10 kilometers above the ground, since no crater was found. The event is still considered one of the largest impact events ever experienced on Earth. The explosion flattened 80 million trees and incinerated nearby wildlife.
80 million trees. Oh, wow. This one's very interesting because there's no real explanation. If there was a meteor, there would be like there would be a hole or a crater. I don't know. It's weird.
Those who witnessed it described hearing a huge bang in the sky, followed by a mighty crash and a noise similar to guns firing. The explosion supposedly caused shockwaves even as far as the United Kingdom. Although despite such a massive explosion, there was hardly any debris. If it were a meteor, there would be craters all around caused by fragments as they hit the surface. That's what I'm thinking. But strangely, there was nothing. It was later suggested that the crater-shaped Lake Checo, that lays just 5 miles from the explosion site, is the result of debris. This is because the lake was not marked on maps prior to the Tunguska event, and studies of the lake have revealed sediment on the bottom has been building for around 100 years, and that what lies beneath that is a stony matter that could be the remnants of an exploding meteorite. Keep in mind, this is just a theory, and although it's generally believed the explosion was caused by a huge cosmic body slamming into the Earth, there are plenty of other theories on what it was, including a massive volcanic eruption, a black hole colliding with Earth.
A black hole colliding? Get out of here. If a black hole collided with Earth, Earth would no longer exist, okay? But a volcanic eruption, if it was a volcanic eruption, you know, you would actually see the lava or resemblance of it, I guess? I don't know.
Or even an ice comet. And of course, there is always the theory that it was something to do with extraterrestrial life. But for now, what exactly caused this supposed gigantic earth-shattering crash is still a mystery.
I've never even heard of that. That's crazy.
Mysterious sounds in Canada. In the summer of 2016, hunters from the remote community of Nunavut in northern Canada were plagued by a mysterious sound that appeared to be coming from the seafloor. The sound, described as a ping, beep or hum, has been scaring away animals and impacting the lives of the Inuit people, who traditionally hunt the area for seals, caribou and whales. But the trouble is,
do you have like recording sound of it?
The source of the sound is a mystery, and even when the military was brought in to investigate, they could not get to the cause of the noise, although they were able to rule out submarines as the culprit. There are several theories on what it could be. One suggests that the Baffin Lands Iron Mines Corporation is responsible, as they have been known to perform sonar surveys in the area, although they have denied they are responsible. Another suggestion is that conservation groups like Greenpeace may be responsible, in an effort to scare the wildlife and prevent the Inuit from hunting them, although this has also been denied. So what could this strange noise be? While of course there are
an underwater city? Is that what you're getting at?
Suggestions that the sounds are something to do with either a secret underground military base, Hollow Earth conspiracy, or some undiscovered sea creature.
I don't know what it could be.
What's your thoughts?
Alright, the last
German
one.
U-boat is taken down by a mysterious creature during World War I. Now this one has inspired me to do a video soon on 5 mysteries of the First and Second World Wars, because there are so many. But this one began in 1918 when SM UB-85, a German U-boat during World War I, was picked up off the coast of Belfast by the British ship RMS Coreopsis, after she became partially flooded and was forced to surface. All 34 crew were captured by the British and taken as prisoners of war, and the submarine was abandoned. Official records report that the U-boat was just another casualty of World War I. However, an intriguing story emerged when it was reported that whilst the German captain Gunter Kretsch was under interrogation by the British, who were trying to establish why the U-boat had been cruising on the surface, he told an extraordinary story of the vessel being overwhelmed by a large sea creature with huge eyes and a bony skull with glistening teeth. The creature supposedly attacked the submarine when it surfaced the night before it was captured to
Was it Godzilla or something?
recharge the batteries. He claimed the monster had damaged the vessel so badly that it was left unable to submerge. He also claimed the crew fired at the creature in an attempt to scare it off, but the beast refused to let go of the forward gun mount, and as the vessel began to list, he instructed his crew to continue the attack until the monster eventually slid back into the water. At the time, Gunter's account was dismissed as the ramblings of an under-pressure prisoner of war, although just a year earlier it emerged there was another report, this time from the British captain of HMS Hillary, who also insisted that seafarers were well aware that there were large sea monsters in and around the area that could do some serious damage to ships passing through.
That's crazy.
Then in 2016, engineers working on electric cables off the
2006? This was like last year. Did something happen with this monster thing last year? I mean, we have to remember that the ocean, I think 95% of the ocean or 90% is discovered. So 90% of the ocean, we don't know what's out there.
Galloway coast discovered what they believe is the intact wreck of UB-85.
Oh,
Cryptologists believe this recent discovered wreck holds the clues to the reported monster sightings reported by the seafarers in the past. It's even been suggested that there is a link to the Loch Ness Monster, as the stretch of water is close to the Loch Ness. This is just one of the many First and Second World War mysteries that I find fascinating. So,
I'm not really sure what that could have been. If the German guy is saying that, it could just be, just craziness. But if someone else, but from a different army, like from the British army, is saying that, no, this stuff is real, there is that weird stuff out there, there might actually be some truth to it. Well, I mean, maybe back in World War I. Nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised if any kind of sea creatures like that died off. But I don't know what it could be. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm glad this video didn't make me that paranoid, because top 5, they normally get me real paranoid, and I have to take a week to recover from it. Anyway guys, I hope you did like this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share it with a friend. If you're new, hit subscribe and join the family today, and also make sure you go subscribe to Top 5s, as well as get their magazine if you're interested. And yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Woo!